All right, so today's video, we're watching a Plat 2 DPS on console. They say, I am an esports coach at my high school that I graduated last year and am a proud state title holder. However, my rank is not even close to what I want it to be, and I would greatly appreciate tips, especially on defense because that was possibly the worst hold I have ever done. I know I made mistakes and I want to know what I can do better, and I can achieve a higher ranking and be able to show my team what to do better as well. I greatly appreciate any tips, and thank you for the opportunity. Also, just a note, people are going to hear this and go, oh, wait, you know, coaching a team in like Plat, etc. I just explained this to chat before going live. It doesn't matter what rank you are at that point. Like knowledge of a game, understanding X's and O's, being a leader for your team, even in sports. You'll have coaches who have never even played football, or they played it like, you know, in high school for a year or two. It comes down to like the knowledge, being able to, you know, set your team up for success, and you don't need to be rank 1 to be able to do that. Bam, 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 bam. Nice shots. I mean, straight up. Those are good shots. Wait for it. So far, I mean, nothing's really happening. One thing I can help with, remember that Cassidy got a pretty long-range nerf? And if you're not going to play with your Rhine or like at a really close mid-range, you're going to lose a lot of value. You're going to be hitting shots that the Ashe is also hidden, but the Ashe is going to get some more value. So, you know, hero selection can be very key. Back to some Cass here. Yeah, I mean, when I see that right there, like I said, like sometimes it can just be hero selection too. I've tried like playing some of the heroes, like, and I've come to the conclusion that, like I said, it's just range. Now, you'll get more value here though. You'll get more value here because it's closer, right? But even then, like if the Cass goes to the far left, it might be a little bit different on that, so. I mean, the Ashe, so you still have range. Don't worry about going point there. There's this thing where, like, I do this sometimes too, and I've had to learn just to, like, give it up here. If your team isn't going to commit to it, and in your mind you want to go to the point, but no one else does, I want you to think about, like, look where your team's at. Even if you touch point, what's going to happen? Let's be honest here. Like, if you touch point here in this situation, based off of everything that I saw from your point of view, you're gonna go back to spawn. If your Doom was there, I would have liked to see you go towards point, but your Doom was like fighting up on high ground. It just wasn't gonna be worth it. And they did a good job of poking you out, because when you poke out cooldowns early, it becomes really hard to have cooldowns to survive on point. So your team was pretty much dead at that point. So sometimes you gotta be ready to make that quick decision. Mechanically, you're hitting your shots, which is nice. Huge Hinda. Definitely feels like mechanically you're hitting your shots. You see what I'm talking about, though, by the way? Where, like, you shot at that Ashe and you went out of, like, effective range, and then, like, you're just doing, like, 12 damage to him, and you're just like, oh, come on! I know it's not 12 damage, but it feels like it. They're back to kind of, like, buffing up ranged and making it so, like, heroes like Cass and even Soldier struggle a bit more. Not that Cass is necessarily bad, either. You'll see Cass still in matches, but, like, that is a team that is, like, revolved around doing that, and you're seeing more Ashe Tracer now, if I'm correct. In matches now, too, so. That high noon certainly was a high noon. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you, like, and you said you're Plat on console, right? It feels like your aim for Plat on console is pretty good. Am I wrong? Like I feel like you don't, it's not a mechanical issue for you. I feel like this map alone is just like a hero selection. Am I wrong? Like, I see that, and I'm like, wait a second, that's good. Like, that is... Like, your mechanical issue, it's not a mechanical issue for you. And, like, you clearly, like you said, you know, you said you're the coach for your team. Like, you see that, though? That's what I talk about. You see those shots on Mercy? Like, if you were going Ashe, that Mercy's falling over, right? But, like, you're on Cassidy, and you're shooting at him, and you're hitting all your shots, and they have half HP. And you're like, well, that was a waste. Chat, how good did Cass feel prior to, like, the changes to drop off? They had Cass in such a good sweet spot, and then they nerfed Cass, and it was like, oh. Even though I get it, but like, good Hinda? Nice, that Hinda was good. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I know playing against Cass was frustrating at times because of that, right? That part I understand, but playing Cass, oh, it felt great. Yeah, that's when they nerfed Cass and they buff Pharah at the same time, and they're like, dude, how's Pharah dominated? Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I really think it's just hero selection for you. You're playing Circa Royale Cass, you're hitting your shots, but you're not getting value. I do like the hero swap here. Now, Tracer obviously will have a bit of difficulty finding value on first point, but I would actually prefer to see you on something like Tracer right now. Even though I did like your Ashe pick. Well, you did pick Ashe, and I was like, okay, I like this, but it looks like you maybe had a agreement with your team to go like a dive-based comp, so like Doom, Tracer, Sombra. I think this is a good idea. I don't mind this. You're setting up. Don't be afraid to blink that next time, if that makes sense, because I feel like you know the Widow's there. I want to pause for 1 second. I know you were waiting on your team a little bit there, but don't be afraid to, like, once your team hits this part of the map, to start blinking over here. If the Widow hits a good shot on you, the Widow hits a good shot on you, but I want to see you apply a little bit earlier pressure beforehand. And you know about, like, timings and all that, so it's like, it's one of those things where could have been a little bit better, but, like, it's all going to work out anyway. They didn't get the kill. I just want to give the off chance of, like, the Widow hits a shot on your team, and, like, that's that. You just sit there even longer. So... now, what do we notice so far here, right? Now you're more involved in the team fight already. When you were on Cassidy, you were involved in the team fight, but you were just basically doing 50% damage at most when you hit 6 shots in a row, right? Now you're in the team fight. Now you're able to get follow-up. And this is with Tracer being nerfed, by the way. See, people look at Tracer and wonder why they nerf Tracers, because imagine, like, in pro play where Tracers just go around the map dominating with that damage, and they can still find value even when the damage gets nerfed. And that's what happened. Tracer's just a good backline pressure hero. You know, I respect the pulse bomb attempt. I respect it. I suck at pulse bomb, so it is what it is. Much better here, by the way. Your team's going in, you're applying pressure, you're hitting your shots, they don't have a time to, like, do anything. They're on Soldier 76, so they're probably gonna get rolled on cooldown half the time. Like, you're in a much better spot here. This is good. What rank is this? This is Plat console. So. I will say this right now, by the way, and I hope this, like, will help you in, like, some aspect of your game. Your mechanical gameplay is not your issue. At all. Your mechanical issue is not bad at all. I really do think it's, like, your hero selection for a bit there. And let me point that out. You go like, well, you're dominated doing this, but if your swaps are a little bit too late and you give them a huge time bank, it leaves like a little bit less room for error, right? When you were on Cassidy and nothing was getting done the majority of the time, giving them 3.5 minutes, you're not always going to win those games, even if you play well the rest of the game. The room for error changes a lot, and you don't give yourself as much opportunity to make those plays consistently. But yeah, I mean, your mechanics are great. Like for Plat console, this is good. Like I don't even think like your aim is remotely Plat. Am I wrong? Staying in there too long, I get what you were going for. Sometimes you just don't want to hit recall and use your cooldown. I get it. It happens. I'm not too worried about that. So whenever you dash to a Widow like that, you get insta one-tapped. It's all about knowing where to go first. You don't need to go right into the Widow and triple blink into them. It's about setting up around them to make the Widow kind of like have to worry about multiple angles, even though you're coming from one angle. It's just... movement on Tracer is just as important as hitting your shots. Some of the best Tracers in the world, it came down to them being good at both, right? That's what it is. If you really want to get good at Tracer, it's about getting good at both your aim, but also your movement. And I would actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, I would lean towards movement first than aim on Tracer. And I'm not saying like you miss every one of your shots, but like say you miss a couple shots here and there, your movement being really good will probably secure more kills for you than your aim being really good on Tracer. In my opinion. Yeah. It's your movement that really does that. And there's just players who, like, their movement on Tracer is so good. You're doing a good job here. I mean, like, I don't really have much to go on here outside of this is what happens when you go the heroes that make more sense for what your team's running and not playing the hero that, while I love playing the hero on Circuit Royale, will struggle more. Because you just rolled them. You literally got in their face and they couldn't do anything about it. And earlier when you were on Cass, you were just sitting there going, hello, I'm here to spam you for 12 damage. Have a good day. Now you're on Sim. Okay, I'll see how this goes. Are you doing like a whole close strat? Yeah, I don't mind this. This is a viable strat. You go up on the high ground, you TP up here. I can kind of show you, chat, why this is a good spot. One, when they walk out of spawn, they can't really see you, right? So before they can really engage you, they have to be right here. most teams walk out of the front door right away. So you get the surprise on them, right? If they go here, they have a bit of an angle on you, but once again, so this is actually a viable strategy, so it's cool to see. And the best part is, even if you lose the team fight really early on, you just die here, and then by the time you get back, you already have a team fight here, right? Like sometimes in like top 500, you'll literally let them push all the way through to here anyway. What this does, it kind of enables like close to 3 team fights and allows you to build charge. And if you don't have a good sniper, even better. Like, right? So like your team clearly isn't as a sniper team, so playing up here close makes sense. And it gives you opportunity, and if you win the first team fight, it's gonna put you in a good spot because then you start to get the ult advantage, especially towards like these overtime type of games. Right? Like, they don't expect this at all. See? Next time, I'd like to see you maybe, like, throw a couple sim turrets down, though. Because you haven't used a sim turret yet. Which, is really strong. And now you're on Ashe. Back on Tracer? Okay. Your team all wants you to go Tracer? Yeah, I mean, either way, it's fine. It's just... Hey, nice job. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was just a good play by Doom. You got rolled. Okay, so coming up, you have no ultimates. But you have target focus. Probably look for Mercy here soon. Yep. Tunnel vision. We've all been there. Just be careful. Remember, like think about angles. If you go here, you're just in the middle of the open. It's all about map awareness. I do that sometimes too. Sometimes like map awareness, if you don't know every single possible spot, you think you have cover and then you don't have cover at all. And that was one of those situations it felt like. You know?
Meteor strike.
Wait for it. Okay, what do you have? Dumo. Try to pressure out cooldowns. Nice shot by your Doom. Make sure to use recall if you need to. Should be fine. Oh, you're good. Nice. You have the right idea here. I like that. I actually like that play by you. Because, like, if the Tracer wins 1v4 on point, you know, there's also okay. But there's also like a bit of a time in there where you go to the point and then like the Tracer survives and they touch the point, but it all worked out. Just be wary of that at times. On Tracer, I mean, in theory, your team should roll through this based off of what we saw before. But yeah, I mean, this really came down to mechanically. I don't think you're Plat. Even decision-making wise, it feels like you're definitely above Plat on that one. And you're on, you know, you're obviously a coach of a team. I think it's just hero selection for you. I really think like. You'd be surprised sometimes at hero selection, what it can do if you have that, you know, if you flex more. Like, if you only play one hero, that's fine, because, like, you're going to be really strong in that, like, on that hero. But if you have, like, a hero pool that you want to switch, I just feel like starting on cast on Circuit Royale, unless your plan is to hold close, just feels like it's a lot easier for you to lose value when your aim is, if your aim is this good. So this might be an Ego VOD. It's not an Ego VOD. They even made it clear that they end up steamrolling the rest of the way through. What they're trying to do is learn from, like, a good win, regardless. Like, if their aim is like this to begin with, and I think it would be consistently like this, then it's not really an Ego VOD at this point, because if it was an Ego VOD, they wouldn't have had the first half where they got rolled on Cassidy, right? Or not even rolled, like, they didn't do anything. It's more along the lines of you can learn from your wins and you can learn from stomps, especially in longer games. So, like, they just want to learn how to do that. And I think that the whole point here is understanding when the hero that you're on, like for Cassidy there, wasn't going to be the best because of the range they had, and then when they swapped to something that got more backline pressure, and their snipers couldn't get more value, the game changed, and their team just dominated. So, I didn't see any issues with that. Your aim was great. You have a general understanding of, like, backline pressure. Only thing I would say is do a little bit better job of getting cooldowns out. Like, sometimes when you had a little bit of downtime, it could have been spent, you know, getting Genji to use deflect. Things like that. Like, small things like that to do your game. But aim was fine. Movement was fine. It came down to hero selection for you. And I think that will help you climb. Cassidy on a King's Row might make more sense on, like, first point and second point King's Row because it's more mid-range. But Circuit Royale, Cassidy loses a lot of value unless the other team is going to be playing that Brawl style. But, like, if they're not going to play Brawl, you need to go more of that Ashe or the opposite side of that where you go like the dive with Doom and like Sombra. So you should climb easily. You got this. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't, leave a comment. All that helps. If you want to submit your own spectating, look in the description below. You see my Discord. That's where you do that. We also record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat below the webcam. You can just stream on YouTube too. So stop by if you haven't. We have a lot of fun. And with that being said, I hope you have an amazing day/night.